Hey friend, this is Eric from Miller Music, and whether you are dialing in a guitar tone using your pedals or recording tracks with your guitar, compression is a vital effect for improving your guitar sound and getting a more balanced tone in your mix. So in the video today, I want to break down exactly what compression is and how to set it up and how to dial it in to get some great sounds. Let's jump in. Okay, so before I explain what compression is, let's listen to see if we can hear the difference. So I have two tracks up here. One is light blue and one is dark blue. One has a compressor on it and one does not. So I'm going to play each example. It's the same exact track, same guitar part, and just try to guess which one you think has compression and which one doesn't. So here's option A. Okay, here is option B. Okay, so which one do you think had compression? If you had guessed option B, you are correct. Track has a compressor on it, and then option A does not. So now I want to explain exactly what compression is and how it works. Okay, so to explain what compression is, I'm going to use the compressor that's in Studio One, the digital compressor. But if you have a pedal board, if you have a compression pedal, basically it will be doing the same thing. You just can't see it. I like this because you can actually, there's a graphic compressor and you can actually see what's happening with that. So there are four main knobs you can use in compression. So you have threshold, ratio, attack, and release. Those are the main ones that you use to compress your signal. So the first one is threshold. Threshold is at what point you want the compressor to kick in. So you would set the threshold. Right now it's set to -28, but if I move it up and down, you can see that this line is going up and down, basically indicating when the threshold is going to kick in. Okay. The ratio is once the compressor has hit that threshold point, the ratio is going to determine how much of the signal that goes above the threshold is going to be compressed. So 2-to-1 ratio would be basically half that signal. So it's like 50% of the signal is going to be compressed. If I raise that to like 6-to-1, it's almost all the way. Okay. If I go, 20-to-1, that is like fully compressed. So that would be more similar to like a limiter. A limiter, basically, once it hits that threshold on a limiter, it's going to compress everything. Okay, but a compressor is a little bit more musical in the sense that you have a little bit more freedom to only let certain amount of that signal be compressed. Now, the other end of that is attack and release. So attack determines how quickly you want the compressor to kick in, and then release is how long you want it to compress for before it tails off. Okay. Now, depending on what kind of music you are doing and what kind of instrument you're compressing, these settings are going to be varying. Okay. But for now, I basically have a quick attack and a quick release for this guitar part. And as I play it, you'll see that it's being compressed because there's a little yellow indicating light going on over here. So. So you see that it is being compressed over here. Now, what's also interesting with compression is you can actually visually see it on the waveform. So over here in blue and over here in green is the exact same guitar part. This one is the raw signal, and then this one is the compressed signal. I bounced it down to a different track, so you can actually see what the compressor did to the waveform. So you see a lot more peaks over here, and over here it's a lot smoother, okay, of a track. So this would be like an example of a compressed track versus an uncompressed track. Hey, if you are a guitar player, I have a free gift for you. It's called my Great Guitar Tone Checklist. What this is, it's a simple checklist on how to get great sounds using your own current gear. So to get access to this checklist, just click the link in the description below. All right, back to the video. Okay, now I want to show you how to dial in compression, okay? And once you have an understanding of this, like I said, you can use it on your pedal board, you can use it in your mixes. It's just such a valuable skill. Okay, so the first thing that I usually do is play around with the threshold to see at what point do I want the compression to kick in. So if I play this example again, right now the compression really isn't doing very much. And I can see right around negative 30 dB, or negative 25 dB. It's starting to act, it's starting to work. And I usually start with around 2:1 compression, so it's about half the compression ratio, and a pretty quick and release time. Now what's also interesting is they have a gain function over here. So because you are actually lowering some of the spots of the volume, you can actually do what's called makeup gain here. So I have that set. So I had that set to 3 decibels because I was bringing up some of the quieter parts. So you can hear it's a bit quieter now. I'm going to bring it up here. And that's once again how you get that smoother sound, because essentially you are taking off some of the peaks and then raising up some of the lower parts that quite aren't coming through the mix. Now, you could really go crazy and boost it, and you could also compress it a ton. So if I really pull the threshold down and then do a flat ratio, yeah, you see how that's creating some distortion. It's almost too compressed. So that's when a compression doesn't sound good. So I'm going to bring that back up. I'm going to let some of that compression, let some of that original signal comes through so it creates more of a musical effect. So that's a general overview of how I dial in compression. Okay, so just to recap, we talked about what compression is, and we also discussed how to dial it in. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I'll be happy to get back to you. And I also encourage you to get my free 5-step Great Guitar Tone checklist. All right, I'll see you on the next video. Take care.